Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Singing with her friends at nursery, Paisley Dickey seems like any other 3-year-old, but in reality, her world is very different. Her mum Wendy recently dressed her up as Julia Roberts' prostitute character from the film Pretty Woman for a pageant. Wendy has been criticised internationally for that and for subjecting her daughter to other provocative looks.
Perfect.
And this is it. This is Paisley's boutique. Wow.
But as Wendy proudly showed off a room of pageant outfits, it was clear she has no plans to rein it in anytime soon.
And this is her Julia Roberts outfit that has caused so much controversy in international headlines. This is her Daisy Duke outfit, complete with hot pants. This is the outfit she wore a couple weeks ago as Lady Gaga, and we used her hat and boots with her biker dress for her Halloween costume.
This is Paisley's bedroom, and in it there are hundreds of trophies, sashes and tiaras that she's won at pageants along the way. Now, Wendy and Paisley's outfits may be controversial, but looking around here, it seems as though that might be the key to winning one of these pageants, like it or not. With so many accolades and outfits, I was keen to see what Paisley herself liked, and her choice...
This is my bra with shells.
A bra. A very adult choice for a very young child.
And it's beautiful.
Well, Wendy and Paisley join us live from New York now, and behavioural specialist and mother of two, Lorrine joins us in the studio as well. Let's chat to you two in New York first of all, if we can. Now, we saw there, didn't we, that Paisley's choice of outfit was a bra, not something I think that you would expect such a young child to choose. I'm not sure she can hear us just now. Should we have a little word with Lorrine, who's...
Say that again.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry.
Yes, the outfit that you're talking...
You carry on.
The outfit that you're talking about is actually a mermaid suit that she wore at a Miss Under the Sea pageant. It's not a bra. Paisley thinks anything like that. She calls it a bra. But it's clearly the top of a swimsuit type of outfit that goes with her mermaid suit.
Now, I feel slightly uncomfortable, I have to be honest, discussing some of these things in front of Paisley, but it's right that she's there. And we should say to everyone at home, she can't hear some of the questions I'm asking, but I know she can hear her mum chatting.
Yeah, she would not put an earpiece in, so she can't hear you.
No, that's fine. I think that's, in a way, that's probably better, because I think that there are concerns, aren't there, about why a mum would dress her child like a prostitute, even for a pageant. You tell us why you did.
Well, I didn't dress Paisley as a prostitute. I dressed her as a Julia Roberts character from a beloved movie. So I think that's a really big misconception. I did not purposely dress my 3-year-old daughter as a prostitute. She was a character doing a skit.
She was playing a prostitute in the movie, though, wasn't she? So you were dressing her as a... Yeah.
Well, I'm not dressing a 3-year-old as a prostitute. She was a character from a movie, just as Halloween kids dress as devils and demons and witches and that kind of thing. It was nothing more than a costume.
Well, let's chat to Lorrine in our studio very quickly. Just harmless fun, Lorrine, or something more serious?
It may be harmless at this stage, but we're looking at the future. What is this child's expectations? What about the siblings? Are there any siblings?
Yes, two sons.
Yeah, right,
brothers,
okay,
yeah.
so what happens there? And also, is this child going to be so aware of herself in the future? Are we looking at somebody who kind of develops anorexia, disappointment things, all of that? It's very scary.
Should we ask Wendy?
Yeah, well, so Wendy, what's your answer to that? Any fears for what this might be doing to Paisley in the long term?
Paisley had no idea what she was dressed as. She does not know what a prostitute is, of course. She just knows she was doing her pageant. She was dressed in one of her costumes that she wears. It's nothing that she's going to need therapy for in the future. And, you know, this is pageants. We don't live in pageant world. This is something that we do as a hobby. I think Paisley competed in 11 or 12 pageants last year. And outside of pageants, we live a very normal, everyday life. She's a very normal little girl who does everyday 3-year-old little girl things. So, you know, we don't live in pageant world. She doesn't go around all the time dressed up as a little baby doll with hair and makeup. This is just something that she does on occasion for a hobby.
You must really enjoy having the success, though. We saw a huge array of awards, I think, in your house. Does it give you something of a kick and maybe even Paisley to win the awards, especially when you seem to have the secret.
Paisley and I get to travel. We get to do a lot of things together with mom and daughter. We go on a lot of trips, and she enjoys competing. We have a lot of fun. The Julia Roberts was just kind of a side thing that happened. That is not a normal thing. That was done more as a comical type thing, and the entire routine was not displayed. She made a quick change when she went behind the prop. She made a really quick change into the Julia Roberts from the brown and white polka dot dress from that scene, but that part was never aired. But, you know, we're not planning on ever using that outfit again.
Can I ask you where you draw the line? I don't think we fully get pageants over here in this country. We don't really have that kind of scene, if you like. But we have heard there was a case back in May of a mum in San Francisco that was giving her youngster, her 8-year-old, Botox injections. And you know, that was, I know, is being investigated now. But where would you draw the line for how far you would go with your little one?
That was way, way, way crossing the line. I would never consider doing anything like that. And that was something that actually outraged the pageant world. That was crossing the lines. That does not have anything to do with pageants. That was just crazy. And that I would actually consider that child abuse.
Wendy, thanks very much indeed. We're running out of time, but thanks very much indeed for taking the time to speak to us. I know it's in the early hours of the morning over in New York. Lorrine, listening to what Wendy's been saying there, has it changed your mind at all at the harmless nature of this?
No, because I think that, you know, this lady's obviously enjoying what's happening with her daughter, and she said something interesting, 10 or 11 a year, which is about 1 a month. And she does normal things with her. That's terrific. But where does it stop? What happens if the child gets a bit chubby at 5 or 6 or 7 and the child says, why can't I do the pageant anymore? Where does the disappointment come in and the child starts to feel let down and starts to feel they're a failure?
Maybe she'll handle that really well. Maybe that's
but what preparation is there? What preparation is there? The mother actually said therapy. I'm not talking about therapy, but what no, it makes me very uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I think we're setting these kids up to fail.
I don't know if you heard any of that, did you, Wendy?
I did hear that, and you know, it's the same thing as sports. When you put your children in sports, they're not going to win every time. My boys play baseball. They don't win every time they compete, and they are disappointed, and that's part of life. There's a lot of life lessons to be learned by competing in pageants, but they're not going to win every time, and we don't stress outside beauty so much as Paisley as we do the inside. I want her to grow up to be normal, healthy, happy. If she ends up gaining weight in the future, I still want her to be confident enough to know she is a beautiful person inside and out.
Well, she's cute as a button this morning.
Uh-oh, we've got...
Thank you.
We saw a little nose picking there.
Normal behaviour, Dan.
Yeah,
that's about as normal as you can get, isn't it?
3-year-olds do that quite often.
I know some 33-year-olds that still do that. Thanks very much.
I'd love to know your views at home on this one as well. Actually, interesting one, isn't it? Very fascinating to talk to. Why would she want to do it
anyway? There's an interesting question.
Well,
is it a culture thing, or is it a, you know, is it an American culture thing? As you said, we don't do it over here.
Well, we've got to leave it there, but I think we might return to this debate. So I'd love to know what you think.
Lorrine, thanks very much indeed.
My pleasure as always.